Dashboard Effect podcast. I'm Rick Thompson.
I'm Caleb Oakes.
All right, Caleb. Before we get started, let's remind people about the resources we've got on our website.
Yeah. Our website, we've been putting in a lot of work and putting good content out there for people to come and download and look at, and hopefully it's helpful stuff for people that are into, Power BI, data analytics. And we definitely encourage you to go over there, bluemargin.com, and check it out.
Yeah. There's tons of articles, white papers, all sorts of things. Our podcast.
Yeah, the podcast. And 5 more episodes.
All right, good. All right, well, today we wanted to talk about a concept of having your solutions, your software apps and solutions actually delivering business results, not just driving process, which, sometimes your CRM, your ERP, timekeeping system, fleet management system, you put these things in place, you're collecting all this data. Hopefully you've improved process with that, but really what you want to do is drive business results. Mm-hmm. And often the canned reporting that comes out of these systems is not sufficient to really get you the results you could.
Just doesn't cut it, right? I think the example that I love to use is HubSpot. So we use HubSpot for ourselves, and it does not track your pipeline over time. You can look and see what it is now, right? And you can see what maybe has closed in the past or what deals were created in the past, but it doesn't say yesterday your total pipeline value was X, and a week before that it was Y. It's just you kind of just get a snapshot at it now. So you have no idea if you're trending upwards or downwards or where your pipeline is really going and how it's been going over the past few months. That's just an example. I think it's easy to get lulled into, well, that's good enough. Like our CRM reporting and the reporting we have in HubSpot is good enough, right?
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot, and it's tempting to do that. But when you are talking about results, that's what you want to pull that data out for and start driving and saying, I want to see our pipeline start increasing, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to the CEO of ERP implementer. They do Dynamics implementations. They're a big one, very successful. And we were talking about BI in that context. And he said, in our projects, we almost always have a BI phase near the end of the implementation. An ERP implementation, especially for a larger mid-market company, is a pretty intense undertaking. And he said it's not uncommon that they start getting squeezed on schedule and budget as they're doing the project, and new requirements are coming in, and so BI will sort of get short shrift at the end. And he said that's really problematic, because really what you want to deliver as the implementer is results for the company. And very often the canned reporting, as you just pointed out, isn't tuned to that company's exact needs for results. It's not necessarily plugged into the other systems you've got where you'd get good cross-pollination and relating of these different systems, so you can really start to do analysis, make decisions, and get better results. I thought that was really interesting. I was fascinated to hear, since his job is the implementation, it's great that he's thinking about what I really want to do is deliver the results. It's sort of the old, are you delivering features or benefits with your product? Because features are fine. They look good on the marketing page, but it really is about the benefits. It's about what results are you delivering. And even though you can modify the canned reporting packages like in HubSpot, there's a lot of stuff you can do in HubSpot to create a reporting page. You can't relate it to other sources of data. You can't necessarily build every metric or KPI or measure that you want. It can be really challenging. And so to truly get to results, you've got to be able to get your hands on that data and do transforms on that data the way you want to. The example you just gave, store data historically so you can look at trends over time, those types of things. And to do that, the easiest way by far is get it into a data lakehouse.
Right.
Just always assume you should do that to get the best results from your software solutions.
It just gives you so much more flexibility. I think that, one of the things that jumps out is that you're always going to find limitations in your ERP or CRM or whatever system you're using in terms of reporting. And you don't want to, like, it's not, let's take NetSuite, for example. Like, you can customize NetSuite like crazy, and you don't really want to have to always go back to your NetSuite implementer or, vendor or whatever to create some custom thing, because it's still just in NetSuite then. The beauty of doing, pulling stuff out into a lakehouse and using like a data and analytics team is that now you can use that team across all of your systems. And you have one point of contact for all of that stuff. And it's not just, isolated to your CRM or your ERP. Now you can start getting some of the, economies of scale, really, for lack of a better term. Like if you've got 5 sources, you get one team, and now they can build you stuff off of all 5 of those sources.
Right.
And you're not having to go to this person for that one and that person for that one, and so on.
It's a good point. I didn't think it makes perfect sense. I didn't even think of that. If you want to do the customization and you don't have your data consolidated in a lakehouse, you're having to go to those different partners, or maybe you've got someone in-house, but different resources to build that. Mm-hmm. And you still don't get that multiplier effect of having all the data related together. And, the biggest impacts we've seen on businesses, the biggest results we've helped businesses get, always have to do with relating data between systems.
Right.
You have your fleet management system, and you link that up with your timekeeping system, and you're able to learn things about the utilization of your techs on the road and various things like that, that you don't get looking at any system by itself.
Right, exactly. I think the field services is such a great example, because a lot of times, in most cases that we've seen anyway, there's one system for tracking the truck. There's another system for the technician logging his time. And then there's another system that actually captures the value of the work order.
Right, so the value, and just the tickets themselves. So being able to track things like, first time fix and all sorts of efficiency things like that.
Yeah, right. And I think that's so many, those are such critical pieces. And then for them to kind of be siloed away really kind of hamstrings you for making any good, knowledgeable decisions about how to improve.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes to show, like, if you don't do something more than what your systems give you, then you are kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Well, you're certainly not taking full advantage of what's probably an expensive software solution.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That you've implemented and you're paying licensing for and so on. Maximize that. Mm-hmm. I mean, getting into the lakehouse also lets your analysts do things that they would not be able to do very easily with the system itself, even if they're not relating it to other systems. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly. Sometimes just the system itself, like it's the HubSpot example, right? Just the system itself doesn't allow you to do something, and you pull that out, and now you just have so much more room, to explore and analyze and just do things with your data. It's much better, and it does ultimately, I think it does result in results.
I think so, yeah. And I think as we see more and more AI, machine learning, and sort of natural language query stuff coming online, the more you're really going to want to have that. So I suspect, I know, because we're already seeing it, but we'll see big platforms, big CRMs, ERPs having their own AI system, so you can query using the AI, or you can do predictive analytics, machine learning directly in that system. But again, it's going to be siloed. Mm-hmm. And you're going to want to be able to pull that into some kind of a consolidated data lakehouse, so that, because there may be amazing analytics you can do, and predictive analytics, machine learning, that you can do between systems. Combining those systems gives you more data points for the algorithms to figure out predictive things about the potential churn of a customer, or things like that.
Yeah, right, exactly. I think that's going to be really exciting to see what happens there. But I think you're right. I mean, it's still going to be siloed to their own systems. Another thing that just came to mind that I just want to say is that when we're talking about actually delivering results, you have to have a way to quantify that, right? Like quantify that you are making improvements. And I think that's a lot of times where source specific reporting falls down, is that you might be able to say, our sales are up, so great, but it's hard to know, like, okay, well, where were we? What was the trend like, and what are all the other pieces that are coming in? Or did we really make an improvement here, or did we just, add more people or something, right?
Right.
There's a lot of other facets to it, and you need that flexibility to be able to tell if you are actually delivering something that's valuable or not.
Absolutely. All right. Moral of the story. Don't just implement solutions. Make sure you're getting results, shooting for results. The goal should be the result.
Yeah, right.
Use the solution to help you get there, but make
Yeah.
sure that you're able to get a good view on the data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And understand why you're looking at. Anyway, I'm about to get on a whole nother tangent. I won't go there.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this episode up. Thanks, Caleb.
Thanks.